5 relationship killers and how to avoid them. Basically, one could say that the relationship follows an emotional curve. The first 1 to 2 years is a sublimation of emotions. It is fascination, excitement. This leaves us with the strength in the first place to devote ourselves to someone completely different. However, after the infatuation phase, a fight for the border often begins. Suddenly you realize the other person isn't perfect after all. The partners must now decide if they can deal with the other's mistakes. This is a time of crisis for most couples. And that's not bad. The great emotional base from the infatuation stage allows you to go through it. Or you realize that this isn't the right partner after all. The emotional curve up or down will depend on how they handle this crisis. If the two of them can get through this crisis, deal with it constructively, and find a compromise, then things will go uphill. Then true love begins to develop, purging the ideals of the infatuation stage. This love is not only wonderful but also enduring. Of course, that doesn't mean there will never be another crisis. There will always be time crises like 5 years, 7 years with changes happening many times. Or when each child is born is a great challenge or a serious change in life circumstances. Then, with increasing age, there will be a midlife crisis and menopause. But right from this first crisis, if managed well and constructively, is already half the battle. Don't let your relationship fail. Learn about 5 relationship killers and begin to heal the underlying fears that cause these relationship killers. Number 1. Behavior control. Most people enter a relationship with a deep fear of rejection, and this fear drives various forms of behavioral control. The desire to control you in a relationship causes your partner to find ways to separate you from your support network. But we often mistakenly think that those types of controlling behavior are because our partners love us too much, are extremely caring, or are afraid of losing us. This further complicates our ability to recognize the signs that control our partner's behavior towards us. The 2 main types of controlling behavior are overt control and covert control. The mode of expression has increasing levels according to the need to control the opponent. The starting point may just be a complaining attitude that gradually increases to criticism, judgment, and ridicule and culminates in anger, rage causing violence. The person attacked by controlling behavior will also seek to respond with covert forms of control such as compliance, authorization, revocation, protection, explanation, lying, and fleeing in an attempt to control in order to gain control. Not attacked. So controlling behavior always leads to resentment and emotional distance, leading to rejection that one wants to avoid. Number 2. Resistance. Are power struggles contaminating your relationship? Are you and your partner stuck in a control-resist system? Does it seem like the only way out is to leave? Many people enter a relationship with a deep fear of being engulfed and controlled, of losing themselves. The moment they experience their partner wanting control over them, they respond with resistance, withdrawal, unconsciousness, numbness, forgetfulness, and procrastination. When one partner is controlling and the other is resistant, which is really an attempt to have control over not being controlled, the relationship becomes immobilized. Partners in this relationship system feel frustrated, stagnant, and resentful. And the result is a relationship with no way out. Number 3. Neediness. The root of emotional neediness in a relationship is probably a deep-seated distrust of other people, or a deeply rooted belief that you cannot trust anyone to be consistently loving towards you. This belief may stem from your upbringing, or previous negative relationship experiences. Many people enter a relationship believing that it is their partner's job to fill their emptiness, take away their aloneness, and make them feel good about themselves. When people have not learned how to take responsibility for their own feelings and needs, and to define their own self-worth, they may pull on their partner and others to fill them with the love they need. Number 4. Addictive substance and process addictions. Most people who feel empty inside turn to substance and process addictions in an attempt to fill their emptiness and take away the pain of their aloneness and loneliness. Alcohol and drug abuse, food, spending, gambling, busyness, internet sex and pornography, affairs, work, TV, accumulating things, beautifying, and so on, can all be used as ways to fill emptiness and avoid fears of failure, inadequacy, rejection and engulfment. And they are all ways of shutting out your partner. While doing the substance the first drink is a choice, addiction is a disease of the brain that alters the cognition and behavior of the addict in deep, profound ways. That make relationships are often one of the first components of an addict's life that are destroyed. An addict will do everything to keep using, including lying, cheating, and stealing. Addicts may also engage in risky or illegal behaviors that will have an impact on their partner, and they tend to have no inhibitions when it comes to things like having relationships outside of their primary relationship. Number 5. Eyes only on your partner instead of on yourself. Many people are acutely aware of what their partner is doing that is causing relationship problems, but completely unaware of what they are doing. For example, you might be very aware of your partner's resistance or withdrawal, but totally unaware of your own judgmental behavior. You might be very aware of your partner's anger, but completely unaware of your own compliance. You might be very aware of your partner's addictive behavior, but very unaware of your own enabling. As long as your eyes are on your partner instead of on yourself, you will continue to believe that if only your partner changed, everything would be okay. In a relationship, we often believe what we see and hear, and will implicitly evaluate and confirm our partner's right and wrong through those things. The next action is usually asking our partner to fix, change or give up something, and think that will make our relationship better. But the mistake is that we ourselves have never thought to change ourselves to fit the other person. So how to resolving relationship killers? The root cause of relationship destructors comes from fear, the feeling of inadequacy, of failure, of rejection, and of engulfment. So as long as you yourself are confident enough, alert, and struggling to get rid of any of these fears, you will be smart enough to handle the others. The way out is to develop a loving adult self who knows how to take full responsibility for your own feelings and needs. You will move beyond controlling, needy and addictive behavior only when you learn how to fill yourself with love and define your own inner worth. When you are willing to take your eyes off your partner's plate and turn your eyes fully on yourself, you can begin to do the inner healing work necessary to heal yourself and your relationship.